Yo, I'm Vinx, and this is my guide for fighting the Stone Talus. Alright, so the Stone Talus has 4 types of attacks. He can punch you, he can throw his fists at you, he can fall over, and he can shake you off. So let me go through these 4 attacks and how much damage they do, and what the best strategies to avoid each of these attacks is. Alright, first off, if you're only wearing 2 armor, his punch attack deals 11.5 hearts. So yeah, he does quite a bit of damage if you're within melee range. So obviously the best way to deal with not being hit by that attack is simply keeping your distance. But upon doing that, that's when the Stone Talus will switch to using his rock throw, where he literally throws his fists at you and they break off into many pieces. This attack doesn't deal much damage itself. It deals anywhere between a quarter heart to 3 hearts of damage. So this is the attack you would rather him hit you with if he has to hit you with something. So personally, I would advise to stay far away from the Stone Talus rather than get too close, as you have a much higher chance of surviving his onslaught. As for avoiding the attack altogether, the best thing you can do is just run to the left or right as you see the Stone Talus pose to throw his fist at you. Also, you can use your bombs to explode his hands, and obviously he cannot throw his hands at you when he does not have any. But the Stone Talus will dig into the ground and pull out a new arm, and every time he goes to pull out this new arm, the Stone Talus is essentially locked into that animation. So that gives you a chance to set up the next bomb to blow up his hand as it's coming out, or you can try to strike his weak point, which is the odd glowing or black rock that you'll see on top or behind him. Going back to damage values real quick, I wanted to point out that the Stone Talus falling onto you also deals 11.5 hearts at 2 armor. So you have to be really careful when he's going down to grab a new arm out of the ground, or when you've blown off one of his hands as well. In either case, him falling on you can prove to be quite catastrophic. The last attack that the Stone Talus uses is a very weak one. It is the shake off attack, where if you're standing on the Stone Talus for too long, he will shake you off of him. This only deals a quarter of a heart, so it's not really something you need to worry about. It's more just the amount of time that you can stay on top of the Stone Talus. Being on top of the Stone Talus is very ideal, as he can't hit you when you're on top of him, and also it's a lot easier to hit the mineral node, his weak spot. Now Link can avoid some of these attacks with his shield, though I wouldn't really suggest it, as the shield will break rather easily. Though you can shield parry. You can parry the rock throw so that you take no damage or knockback, and you can also parry the punch, which you will still take knockback from, but you will take no damage. I don't really suggest these methods, as while it's possible, the timing for doing both is very strict. I got hit so many times just seeing if it was possible myself. But yeah, it's doable. You can do that if you really want to. Well, the Stone Talus isn't the only version of the Talus. There's a couple of other versions as well, one of which is the Frost Talus. The Frost Talus, if you get too close, it will freeze you in place, which leaves you completely vulnerable to regular Stone Talus attacks. But it also is weak to fire. Not in its actual node, but if you shoot the Frost Talus with a fire arrow, you'll melt the ice off of it, which also causes it to fall down as if you had just knocked off a arm, or if you just hit it in the mineral node, its weak spot. And the Frost Talus, it does operate just like a normal Talus. So in this fight right here, I'm doing what I normally would do with any Talus that has the mineral node in the lower part of its back. I'll just keep running around and shooting it with my arrows. The arrows do pretty decent damage as long as you're just continually hitting that mineral node. But yeah, the Frost Talus is going to turn around to face you. Being that close, you're exposing yourself to possibly being punched. But if it goes to grab an arm, again, you can easily just hit that with one of your bombs, knock him back down. But yeah, generally I can get about 3 arrows in per cycle, every time he knocks down, as long as my aim's on the up and up, if you hit that node towards the later part of Frost Talus's recovery, then yeah, it will be weakened again and fall down. So the cycle just repeats forever, and you're just really bullying this Talus. As far as arrows go, the normal arrows deal the lowest amount of damage. I believe the elemental arrows, from the looks of it, deal the exact same amount of damage. The ancient arrows deal a tiny bit more than normal arrows, and the bomb arrows deal a significant amount of damage compared to all the others. So if you're balling and you have bomb arrows like that, that is easily the best way to shoot the Talus down. But when it comes down to it, actually getting the melee hits in is the fastest way to take out the Talus if you have a strong weapon. But unfortunately, with the placement of the mineral node, when it's on the lower back like that, it's a very awkward position. So being able to stand on top of the Talus and get those hits in can be very difficult, which is why I'm opting for the arrows in this positioning. Because I've tried it before, and yeah, I'll typically, when you get onto his back, you have to be pretty low down. It's very easy to accidentally fall off as you're hitting the mineral node with the melee weapon. And it'll turn into a jump attack as you're falling, because, you know, you're just trying to get those hits in. And yeah, it's not the best. But yeah, those arrows are going to take out the Frost Talus. So let me show you real quick how a melee fight would go with a more promising positioning of the mineral node. So in this fight, there's a few extra enemies, the little baby Stone Taluses. I forget their exact names at the moment. But yeah, I place my bombs at the start of the fight right on top of the Talus and try to gather them all together. And I get 2 of the baby Taluses in the first explosion. Unfortunately, I don't get the other one, but I'm going to try to go for him as I take out these arms and obviously try to avoid the blows. So there we go. We knocked out the enemy, destroyed that. I'm going to shoot this fire arrow. This one, not to knock him down. He was already knocked down. I just wanted to get on top of him and not take that, not be frozen by touching him. And so here, this is the way to do it. You don't want to just whack away one attack at a time. You want to use a two-handed weapon and hold that charge button down so you get the spin attack, and you just deal so much damage in a very short period of time. And then to finish him off, I'm actually going to use my bow. The bow I'm using this time shoots 3 arrows, so it deals significantly more damage than I was doing in the last fight. And yeah, that is how you body a Frost Talus. Oh, and I was freezing to death there, so I had to switch to my fire sword. But yeah, no, that is how you do it. If you guys have any other questions on fighting anything in the game, please let me know. I stream Breath of the Wild on Twitch, so if you're interested in that, I'll add a link to the description. Secondly, I'm uploading my initial playthrough onto my second YouTube channel, Super2 Live, where all my Twitch archives go. So if you want to check that out, that'll also be in the description. Either way, if you like this video, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button. It helps out so much. Have a wonderful day.